Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 Reunion Part 2.
I don't want y'all to fall for it, okay? I'm here to help y'all. These past two parts of the reunion has been pretty good. Do not fall for the Potomac trap. This is the only franchise that have terrible seasons and great reunions. Don't fall for it. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Andy checks on Mia. He tells her to give herself some grace. Mia said that if she wasn't in her final weeks of her divorce, she wouldn't be this emotional.
I don't even know if they are divorced in real life.
I don't know either. So everyone gets back to set. Gizelle is an empty nester. She was sad at first, but now it feels amazing. The twins also did well their first semester.
Nice.
Jamal got married, and the girls still do not know their stepmom. Gizelle and Nams are doing well. Nams and Josh are good friends. Ashley says she and Josh cut back on the dating. Josh was offended by certain things that Wendy said about how this was a lateral move from Michael.
Yeah.
I say it's a downgrade. Wendy says that Ashley has said things about her husband when Ashley brought up the article about Eddie cheating on the show.
Yeah, Ashley brought that up, not Gizelle.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm tired of hearing about Jamal. Right? Gizelle has been divorced from him long enough to where we don't even have to hear about how he's doing, how his new life is doing, and things of that nature. But I think that is a testament of how much Gizelle do not share with her life. Her life is her kids, right? And now that she have an empty nest and things like that, Gizelle got to show up to work. But, you know, it is what it is. But I guess what? I agree with Wendy basically checking Ashley. Like Wendy should forever be first chair of Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah, she did her thing.
Let the other chair rotate between whoever did good that season. Mia should never be first chair ever again. She showed herself that she can't handle it. But I think Wendy did excellent on both parts of the reunion.
So we see clips of Stacy and Keiarna from the season.
Yeah.
Kay and Greg are still together. They looked at rings just last week, but they did separate for some time after filming. She is in the process of purchasing a condo. She talks about how she might move back in with him, and Gizelle says after the ring. She felt unsupported by Greg, and he does show up, but it felt pretty negative when he would.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, Keiarna and Greg, just wait till you get married to figure things out with that man, if y'all even get married, honestly, because it seems like it's a little too much back and forth. I mean, you guys were building a house together, so I don't really know what happened with that to the point where she's getting a condo, and maybe I think she said something along the lines of, well, you know, like it's property and I can own property and all that type of stuff, which is great, but you was trying to buy a house to move in with this man. So until y'all are on a little more solid ground, I wouldn't make any plans that involve Greg, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Kiana's a liar. And because everything she said literally makes no sense. She said that we separated for a while, but just last week we was looking at rings, but I'm in the process of buying a condo. You're doing a lot of things that is letting me know y'all not together. You get what I'm saying? And I understand that you felt unsupported, especially since you got injured on the show in a fight that you put yourself into. But nevertheless, you got injured. You get what I'm saying? Even though you were defending someone, that do not call for you to get your head split open. You get what I'm saying? But I will say, everybody's not open to reality TV. That is a lot. That's a big ask to have cameras come in and invade your personal space, invade your personal life and things of that nature. But I don't think she's being honest about even. I'm starting to think, I don't know if she was ever honest about their relationship, about them building a house, and now they separated, and now she moved out, and now she's trying to buy a condo. But just last week, we were looking at rings. How convenient. Just last week, you were looking at rings. The week before we come in to record and ask about the current state of your relationship. It just comes off as very performative, as basically just trying to put on a good front. But I don't think y'all together. The whole idea of you buying a condo when you was, as Blair would say, building a house together, all of it made no sense. So, but it is what it is.
But he was there in the background. Why do you think he's there if they aren't together?
I think it's there just to put on a good front. Like basically just like.
I feel like if they weren't together, I don't think he would do much of anything.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think there's something to like even though we may not be together, even though we separated, like, I still got love for you. I still like you. If this is what you want me to do, cool. But I don't think they are on good grounds in the way that she is putting it. Maybe I should say it that way.
Okay.
To where she's like, we were looking at rings last week. I don't think y'all there. You get what I'm saying? Because the fact that you've been together this long and this the first time y'all looked at rings, I don't believe that. I think that's just something to say to basically, hey, get the heat off of you so you be good. And, we are working our way back to being together, even though I'm about to buy my separate place. It's like, okay, I hear you, Keiarna.
So we learned that Stacy and TJ are not together anymore. And Kay makes a comment, were they ever? Stacy says that it was a lot of pressure. There were moments watching the show that were shocking, just the way that he spoke to her and also how her family reacted to it. It was hurtful for people to say that she paid him to be there and was more interested in her trainer than her, which Wendy said, and Wendy apologized for. Stacy is officially divorced, but she and TJ are still best friends. Wendy says, so it's basically the same. Y'all weren't having sex before, y'all not having sex now.
Wait a minute.
Wendy, if you just apologize, I don't know why you making more comments. But go off, I guess. Stacy and TJ have had intimate moments, but not sex. Then they ask, were you with TJ for a storyline and to boost his acting career? And Stacy doesn't know what to say. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, I don't think this was to boost his acting career, but definitely for camera time. Because even though TJ is not with Stacy, or like they never were, depending how you want to perceive it, we still got a cameo from TJ.
Yeah.
It is the most, we cannot get, Stacy not with him, but apparently we still are. We still got to review him. They are basically, he is so much in the show, they basically tease him for next week. Yeah. And listen, do I think they was ever together? No. Right? Do I think Stacy basically I think she used him as a safety net just in case she couldn't come up with a story for herself, that it will always be something that will keep, something interesting about her, right? I thought it was funny that once they found out that she's already divorced, the camera went straight to Ashley. Basically like, divorced already? But yeah, truth be told, I think Stacy did a good job of not showing her true self this season. And to be able to not show your true self and people still like you, you got counted as a win-win, I guess. To me, I can see right through it. So it is what it is.
Yeah. I really don't have much to say. I actually did like Stacy. I felt like she fit in with the group pretty good. I mean, she was definitely a different personality, but I felt like it was a nice difference, you know. And then I also felt like with her situation with TJ, I never really felt like it was real, but she also said that they were best friends. So, I mean, who really knows what their relationship was?
It's just weird because she said like she didn't like how he was talking to her.
Like she wasn't there when it happened.
Like he was talking to you.
Exactly.
But yet you just went back to being best friends. Like if you didn't like the way that he was respecting you, and basically how Wendy slid her comment in, like, so nothing changed. I'm like, so why y'all still like friends? Yeah. But it is what it is, I guess.
So we see some fashion from the season. Yeah. Apparently the dress that the dress that Stacy wore to the dog event or whatever like that. Yeah. Vivian made that dress for Ashley first. So Stacy thinks Vivian was being shady on purpose by putting her in the dress that Ashley had already worn. Yeah. So they're not friends anymore. Stacy believes that she elevated Vivian by allowing her to be the exclusive fashion designer for the event. She was mortified that Vivian would put her in an outfit one of her colleagues wore. So it's absolutely F that B.
You see what I mean? Like, she's from Detroit, guys. You get what I'm saying? And also the idea that you thought that you elevated Vivian when you're trying to wear her clothes is like, I guess, but to me, this is more about nothing in my eyes.
To me, I feel like it was publicity for Vivian. I mean, I think she had made appearances on the show before, but to actually be in her shop and to have the women wear her clothes, like that really was some good shine that Stacy was giving to her in her business. For Vivian to turn around and do that, especially when Ashley said the dress was custom made for her, that is kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy.
I mean, I guess.
So Jacqueline joins the ladies on stage. She is pregnant. She says the father has never been on Bravo and will figure out in time to come. I don't care who the baby daddy is. Whatever. Wow. Whatever. Hope you have a happy, safe, healthy pregnancy. But yeah, the baby daddy type of stuff. I mean, I feel like I've gotten enough of it from Mia to try to figure out who Jacqueline's baby daddy is. So we see clips of Mia from the season. She and Ink broke up. Seeing things back, she sees that she went about things wrong. Mia said that Ink is her best friend and he's forever going to be part of her life. They don't need to be in an intimate relationship. Wendy says that he filmed with her, but once it was shown to the world, he may not have expected the backlash. Gizelle thinks that they're still together. Mia lives in Atlanta. Ink lives in Atlanta, and Mia keeps saying that she lives here. The consensus from the ladies is that Gordon, Ink, and Mia are all in on this plan. She's not divorcing Gordon, and she pretended to drop Ink. Then the question is asked, did you tell the kids about the divorce for the first time on camera? Mia said yes. She wanted to go to a counselor to do it, but it didn't work out that way. Gordon apparently led the charge on the paternity topic. Mia doesn't think that she should have continued to discuss it on television.
Yeah.
Kay tells her stories don't always add up, and Mia says it's not a lie, it just ebbs and flows. She conceived her child through IVF, but she could have already been pregnant.
Girl.
Everybody's saying that is not possible. They do a blood test prior to you getting IVF to make sure that you're not pregnant. Stacy says, just end this paternity stuff with your children. Mia said that Jeremiah is Gordon's child through IVF, and they did confirm this. Yeah. Any thoughts before moving on?
I don't know why a lot of y'all are championing Gizelle on cracking the case of, Mia, Gordon, and Ink was all in on the storyline when I was the first one to tell y'all this. I told y'all this throughout the whole season. Yeah. Like, this was basically like her storyline, that they are all in on it. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for Gordon because she's calling him all these things and basically saying he's having an episode. Gordon's in on it. Gordon was the one who basically told us most of the information that is Mia's storyline with the whole kid and things of that nature. So it's like what Gizelle was saying, which was a good read. And I feel like as first chair, you got to be able to at least respond and lead the conversation. And Mia was on the defense for 2 parts of the reunion, basically walking off and acting like she's going to leave. That's why I said never make her first chair. Put her on the end, since she's not going to talk, since she's not going to basically stand on business on her storylines and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, it may look good, and to some people it didn't look good throughout the season. It may look good playing out in the season, but when it's time to actually like answer for them, you have no answers, and your answers are lies. So I am not surprised that Mia, Gordon, and Ink was all in on this storyline. Like I said that from the jump. You get what I'm saying?
And even though like it's pretty much what everyone has a consensus on, I'm happy that somebody said it to her. It does get annoying to go throughout the season and see things just get crazier and crazier, and everybody just okay Mia to death. When it's time for the reunion, then it's time to answer some questions and hold your feet to the fire and people to tell you that we think you're lying. Yeah. But I also, part of me, which could be wrong, but I feel like, Mia, cause kind of pretty much shown herself to be hood. A little bit hood, a little bit ghetto, a little bit ratchet. So if this is her real life and she says she's not lying, then she may just be a very chaotic person with a chaotic life. And people like that absolutely do exist. So I'm not putting it past her. It seems like she keeps drama going in her life. She doesn't handle things smart. So I don't know. So I'm just thinking like whether or not she's like created this plan up with Gordon and Ink, that could very well be true to keep the money flowing on the show. But I absolutely believe that her life is probably a mess. And
the way you sound, and you basically saying because she's a hood and all this mess that she don't fit the Potomac franchise.
I've said that before, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say all of them are, listen here, Gizelle's ghetto snipe, Karen is ghetto snipe.
Gutter snipe.
Gutter, ghetto, all the above, right? My thing is, I think if there's any reason, because throughout the season, I said there's no reason to fire Mia because there's no storyline for anybody else. Literally, there was no storyline for anybody else. I say if there's a reason to fire Mia, it would be for how she showed up on the reunion. Because my thing is, the reunion is supposed to be the payoff from the whole season, for us to actually involve the audience, for things to actually put a bow on things so we can move on to the next season. If you're doing all these things throughout the season and then when it's the reunion, you're on mute, it's like, we're not going to fall for that again. You get what I'm saying? I feel like the way that Mia showed up at the reunion was more telling than she did throughout the whole season. Yes, she may be ghetto. Yes, she may be hood. Yes, she may be Zeus and all these things. But at the end of the day, when it was time for you to act, being a housewife is being able to respond and being able to actually resolve some things. And Mia haven't done it not one time yet in part 2 of these reunions.
Yeah. So then the question is asked, how are you protecting your kids from adult conversations? Mia says that it didn't happen until that moment, the adult conversation between Ink and Gordon and how they weren't getting along. Gizelle says that Gordon told us that he didn't want to film with Ink, but you thought it was good for the show, so you allowed it to happen. Mia thought it would be good to show positive co-parenting. Apparently Gordon co-parents with her ex with her first child. She thought that the same could happen with Ink.
Oh my goodness.
Jacqueline said that Gordon is positive one moment, then negative. She's seen them get along, then not get along. And ink shouldn't have been mixed in with the family household. She did tell Mia that already.
You realize that Jacqueline's sitting on the end of the couch, right? Mm-hmm. That the end of the couch got to defend the first chair. Mm-hmm. Because the first chair is there on mute. Mia, it's so funny because when you catch her in her lies, she think the way to get out of a lie is to lie again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, eventually, I wanted this segment to end because I was like, she's just going to keep lying. We're not going to come to any resolve. We're not really going to come to any accountability either. So that's why I'm like, man, let her go from this season based on her performance on the reunion.
And then it also makes me think the way that she really couldn't defend her choices or explain herself. It also makes me think, like, is this lady even that much of a mastermind to create this whole situation?
Whole time, though.
Because I'm like, she just sounds not smart and making not smart choices. Yeah. That's pretty much how it looks to me.
I'm probably giving her too much credit.
I'm just like, I don't even want to give her the title of mastermind because it just looks all like very dumb.
She just spinning.
Dumb. Yes.
Yeah.
Mia is being open about what she's going through, and it is confusing at times. Mm-hmm. She says it confuses herself. Kay says that Gordon is an elderly man, and it was a lot for him to go through this.
Stop it, Keiarna. He's not that elderly, okay?
Andy says that, you know, Mia did try to protect him, and Gordon was the one who brought the information to Cameron.
He did.
Mia says that Gordon wanted to come to the reunion and apologize for what he did to her, but she didn't want him to come on an apology tour. Gizelle says that if everyone was on board with this paternity story, you wouldn't be responding this way. Wendy said that Mia said everyone is Michelle and she is Beyonce when they were in Miami.
Wow.
Mia said, I was just drinking. I was just talking. Mm-hmm. Has Mia always had an odd relationship with the truth is asked to Jacqueline. And Jacqueline says she's honest, but yes, she sometimes exaggerates the truth. So that means Mia be lying. And she's lied her whole life. Yeah. Like... So I think part of it is lies and part of it is just chaos. Like, she's just a chaotic person.
And Jacqueline, the minute you drop that baby, you gonna be punished by Mia for not representing her the way that, you know, Mia likes to be represented.
Then the question is asked, if it was hard for you to deal with the situation and talk about your kids, why would you bring up Giselle's daughters? Yeah. Mia says she apologized for it. And Gizelle says, well, Mia, when I talked to you about it at Ashley's drag event, you got up in my face and was acting like you were going to do something about it. Yeah. And Mia said, well, you said I was a terrible mother. And Gizelle says, you were acting like a terrible mother. Yeah. Like, no mother would discuss their child's paternity on national television. Wendy doesn't understand why Mia can't be accountable. She's getting up, she's walking away and all this type of stuff. Before we move on to the Eddie and Greg conversation, any other thoughts about this segment?
Yeah, just that last part, Gizelle, you can't sneak that past me. That scene was shot months ago, right? And you just unfollowed her based off of our reaction on how you saw that she called your daughters out of their name and stuff like that. You was there, you heard her, right? Here's the thing about it, right? I think Mia this was I will go so far and say this is probably one of the worst performances from a first chair I've seen. And mind you, I haven't seen a lot of reality TV show on Real Housewives. I will say the fact that Wendy is sitting next to you at second chair and she's basically like, she can't be held accountable. The fact that you got up and walked away, that's one thing you can't do. Because it's so funny how you can walk away and the camera still stays with the main cast and things like that. Basically, we're tired of chasing you. I would just say, I think the whole being mad that Mia called her daughters out of their name was performative. I think she felt some type of way, but I just want to remind somebody that Mia actually called them out of their names to Giselle's face, and Gizelle did more to Candiace and Wendy because they looked a certain way whenever the daughter's name was mentioned or whatever. So it's like, Gizelle, yeah, you could be performative too, but in this instance, guess what? Let's harp on Mia because truth be told, Mia did terrible. You get what I'm saying?
And I feel like Gizelle had to tell her, like, you're not doing your kids any favors by continuing the conversation. Even if Gordon was the one to throw it out there and bust out the conversation, she dragged it. She dragged it out. She was talking to the ladies about, I don't know, and it could be this or it could be that. And then, like, when it's actually revealed that, okay, he is the father, she never was the one who came out with it first. Like, it's just like she's even if she wasn't the one to bring it to camera, she did nothing as far as protecting her children and trying to keep the situation under wraps. And of course, some people would say, why can't the dad protect his kids? Well, if we're supposed to go by what Mia says, then the man is having episodes.
Yeah.
So what do we expect him to do for real?
And then on top of that, so I think it was Ray who broke the news to us.
Yes.
Ray show up on camera one time per episode. You get what I'm saying? Talking to the mermaids and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You tell me Ray did more for that storyline than Mia, and she's the one that orchestrated the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie and Greg are the only guys there so far.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie FaceTimes TJ, and TJ is talking about how he got evacuated because of the fires, and he's not going to be on the show to be around this fake show with these fake people.
Whoa.
Wendy gets a text from Eddie that TJ dropped a bomb on them. They kind of like scratched and remixed or whatever thing, so we couldn't hear exactly what TJ said. But apparently it's something that we're going to want to stay tuned for to find out next episode.
Do we care about TJ's bomb?
No. I really don't.
I'm like,
even if he said he was paid to be on the show, then I'll be like, okay, I mean, what do you want me to say? The show's over now.
And TJ, if you was paid to be on the show, you did a bad job. Like loose me from this TJ world y'all got me in, right?
Yeah.
He's not on the show. He's not with Stacy no more, but yet somehow, some way we're calling TJ. Why?
Yeah.
Loose me, please. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all.
Bye.